On this week's episode of the I-501CU, the podcast for nonprofit board members, I'm going to touch on a topic I've touched on a little bit before and also in speaking to some of our guests. And it really resonated last week with Dawn Stanhope in the fact that I want to talk a little bit about board tenure and when you leave the board. Hey, everybody, this is Michael Corley. Just wanted to let you know we are now sending out a weekly, very brief newsletter, tips, tricks, pointers to nonprofit executives. That includes both board members and CEOs, executive directors. If you're interested in receiving this, please go to thecorleycompany.com/newsletter and you can sign up. Once again, that's thecorleycompany.com/newsletter. So oftentimes people join a board. They're, of course, passionate about the topic, passionate about the organization, and they'll continue to stay on the board for 3, 6, 9 years, or maybe even more. Most terms we know, but the proverbial best practices is 2-3 year terms. So let's say you're on the board 6 years. Likely you've even ascended to a leadership position. You've been on the board that long. And now all of a sudden, after your tenure, after you term out, what is there? Magically on that day, do you lose passion for the organization? Do you not care about the organization? Well, absolutely, of course not. That's somewhat silly. But the fact is, oftentimes in the nonprofit world, once somebody rolls off, we really don't focus on them anymore. And we just continue to work with our current and existing board. Boy, past board members are just a plethora of opportunity for engagement, for volunteering, for funding, fundraising, and just that wisdom and that experience. So what can you do? What can you do when somebody rolls off of a board to keep them engaged? Well, like Dawn said in our last week's episode, you can certainly have an organization for them, some type of committee, if you will. In her case, it was Club Blue. I've seen that in a number of organizations, whether it's volunteer opportunities around a specific program. It could even be meet once a quarter, twice a year with past board members, have some type of reunion, some type of involvement. At a minimum, keep them on the email list and keep them engaged so that they have an opportunity to continue to contribute. Because I can assure you, as a past board member myself, I've been with a couple of organizations, one never heard from again, and one continued to get information to this day about. And yes, I'm still passionate about that organization, even though I don't serve on the board. So you executive directors out there, you CEOs, you board chairs, as you're contemplating and you're looking at your board and the evolution of the board, and as people will be terming off some at the end of this calendar year, depending on your fiscal year, think about how can you continue to keep those folks engaged and involved. They don't have to do it as a board member, but they can still be an asset to your organization. So that's my thoughts for today. I'm Michael Corley, and I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. The I-501CU, the podcast for nonprofit board members, and we'll see you next week.